Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Alia SHAAZWANIE from HM1114EA. My matrix number is 2019444332.
Hi, my name is SITI MAISARAH binti ALIAS. I'm from HM114EB.
Assalamualaikum. My name is AINA AFIQAH binti FADILLAH from HM1114EA. Student ID 2019216456.
Hi, Assalamualaikum Madam. I'm RASYAFIKA binti ISMAIL and my matrix number is 2019, 20, 99 and 66.
My group will present about inflation. So let's start now. First of all, I would like to do some briefing about what will we present today. So started with introduction, main discussion 1, main discussion 2, and conclusion. So, what is inflation? From economic perspective, inflation is one of the major macroeconomic problems. Inflation can occur anytime. It was unpredictable but also predictable if there's an action quickly taken by the government to control the inflation from becoming more worse. Inflation can be defined as an increase in the price of certain goods or services over a period of time. It is because there is a demand for goods or services at a high quantity and faster than the production of capacity of the goods or services. When this happens, the purchasing power will drop drastically because people tend to save their money to buy the goods or services when the price drops rather than purchasing the expensive ones. This is what we call as inflation. Sometimes the concept of inflation is quite difficult. Inflation can occur because the effects of the unemployment rate, currency devaluation, and political instability. Therefore, the government plays such a big role in addressing this kind of matter.
As for my part, I will present you about the main causes of inflation. Inflation is commonly known in economy. Therefore, it can be happen because of many causes or many reasons. So now, I will explain three main causes of inflation, which is demand pull inflation, cost push inflation, and monetary inflation. First and foremost is demand pull inflation. It happens due to the aggregate demands for goods and services exceeds the aggregate supply in the market. It occurs when the customers' demand are increasing and they tend to spend more money. Apart from that, the government is boosting expenditure on health, education, and others. Let's move to the next point, which is cost push inflation. It is arise when the cost of production is increasing and decreases the aggregate supply, could be resulting in the price increase. There are few types of causes that could decrease aggregate supply, such as the tax, government regulation, and wages cost. The cost of the living and push up the prices of the product in the shop could be happen because of exchanges in the tax on expenditure. And the last point is monetary inflation. It is happen when an overexpansion of the money. It is sustained rise in the money supply of a country that can be prone to the inflation. Money supply will increase through an expansionary monetary policy or expansionary fiscal policy.
Next is inflation from the perspective of Islam. From Islamic perspective, when there is no imported inflation or a sudden blow to demand or supply, inflation rate should be at 0%. Similar to a conventional economic system, there is a higher inflation rate in an Islamic economic system if there is a degradation in the domestic currency. It is extremely discouraged in an Islamic system that everything else being the same and the inflation rate should be lower in this system. Islamic law guarantees the flow of labor and capital. Therefore, the possibility of cost-push inflation is at 0% or very low. A 0% predetermined interest rate in an Islamic system helps to keep inflation rate lower over the long run. Next is the nature of price increase in Islam. In Islam, pricing must be fair. As example, supplier is not allowed to charge price that is contrary to its quality. Charging higher price for relatively low quality product is prohibited in Islam. This also means quality of product sold must reflect the real goods. Supplier is allowed to charge price higher than the cost of producing it, but at the same time, supplier must ensure that the price is charged is not too excessive. Other than that, seller is also allowed to adjust its price in some situations, such as situation that's required as tool of self-operation in the market. Means the price is altered automatically. This is being allowed as it encourages healthy competition among sellers in the market. Thus, the gain earned by seller is justified.
Next, inflation during the glory period of Islamic civilization. According to the Quran, usury, or also known as a riba, is an affair strictly forbidden in Islam because usury is not like a normal trade that we know. And based on our research, there is no specific info if there any inflation happened during the glory period of Islamic civilization, but still a very low inflation rate was experienced in early Islamic history, especially after entry of gold and silver. There were some times in a short period when the price increased due to supply disruption in the third or fourth decades of Islamic history, and in the Islamic economic system also, a sudden increase of aggregate demand also can be because of increasing in population and urbanization, which also can lead to inflation. The last part is conclusion. Inflation can give a multiplier impact on the sector of the economy and the different classes to other people. A reasonable rate of inflation can be seen as something positive that affects in national economy because it is encourage production and investment and allows growth in wages. The problem is when the inflation cause a limit of a reasonable rate and it give a negative effect. In the Islamic economic system, there is no way to agree with the conventional economic system due to rapid deadline of price increase. That's all from us. Thank you.